Okay, so why the name Roll the Bones? Well, Rush, the greatest rock group of all time, has an album and a song called Roll the Bones. And the concept is to get people outside their comfort zone. Roll the dice, take a shot, take a chance and go for it. So years ago, I started carrying around a dice in my pocket. Not this big, obviously. These are party size. Then every once in a while, I let the dice make my decision of what I'll do. The only rule I have is no matter the outcome of the dice, it has to be righteous, right? It has to please God. In other words, I don't say, if I roll an odds of these dice, I'm going to give that homeless man $5. If I roll an even, I'm going to rob a bank and beat up a grandma, right? So if it's illegal or wrong, I won't let the dice determine the outcome. But let's say there's two restaurants in front of me. And sometimes it's just fun to say, all right, if I'm going to roll the dice and odds, I'm going to this one. Evens, I'm going over here. Then I roll the dice. And no matter what, I go to that restaurant it tells me to. But the cool part about doing it like this is that I'm aware that God or the universe or fate or whatever wants me to go into that restaurant. So it makes me more aware and heightens my senses. Why did the dice put me here? Who can I love, bless, and serve in that restaurant? Then I actively try to find that reason. It's weird, huh? Yeah. But it makes life fun. And surprisingly, a lot of good can happen and a lot of people can be blessed because of this. On this RBX page, Roll the Bones Experience, once in a while I'm going to create a fun event and we will use the dice to make things interesting. For example, a group of single people will meet at the bottom of a mountain right before we hike up to the Y. And we roll the dice to see who we pair off with and get to know better as we hike up the mountain. And I bet there'll be some pretty incredible stories, right, out of that. Maybe you'd never walk with that person, but the dice paired you up on that day. And you get a better job out of it because that person is looking to hire someone. Or you find someone like you with the same things and interests or whatever. Maybe they become your next BFF. Or you get married. Who knows? This page will just have events for married couples too, and some just for singles. Sometimes there'll be just events for guys and then just for girls. I've already got a cool event planned that I want to do with you dudes. And yes, it involves blowing up things. But I have to wait till this psychotic weather of Utah decides to check itself into a loony bin and chill out. Or rather, heat up. Getting back to the fun part of the dice, right? Years ago, I tried this concept out one Saturday. The next day was the first Sunday of the month. I said to the dice or God or my wall, I'm going to go bear my testimony in whatever church you want me in tomorrow. Then I told the dice, if I roll evens, I'll go to Salt Lake Valley. If I roll odds, I'll go to Provo Valley. It was odds. So I was going to Happy Valley. So then I randomly chose 6 cities, wrote them on a piece of paper. I rolled a 3. On the paper, Pleasant Grove was 3. I then looked up churches in Pleasant Grove, and there were a bunch. So I got out a 32-sided dice and rolled it. It was a 13. So I counted down 13 church listings. I noticed they had 3 times, so I used the dice again to see what time I was going to. And I knew I was supposed to be right at that church at that time that next day. So I prayed that night and said, Father, I'm going to that church. Fill my mouth with what I need to say and have who needs to be there, be there. I went, got up, spoke, bore my testimony, sat down, and that was that. After church, I had about 10 people swarm me with tears in their eyes. There were so many little mini miracles that day, including one girl who her brother doesn't go to church anymore. Hasn't in years, but that morning, he got up and shocked her and said, I just feel like I should go to church with you today. This girl said her brother was riveted by my very unorthodox testimony. And she said it was the exact problem he was going through and exactly what he needed to hear. She said he cried throughout the whole testimony and was very touched. I told her to tell him that I was there because of a dice and that I prayed the night before that the person that needed to come would be there. I don't know if she did, but it's kind of fun. And I don't know all the details to this whole RBX thing. The X stands for experience, but it also stunt doubles for experiment, just winging it. And I'm counting on some of you to come up with some fun activities where we use these dice to love, bless, and serve others or have harmless fun. Help me out with this. It's a we thing, not a me thing. I also won't allow this page to take up too much of my time. I have a family, work, and other things that come before this. But hopefully I'll be able to stay pretty active on here, maybe once a month or something, and do some events. And hopefully I get some help from you all. And don't let the dice confuse you. Most of the time, this page will have nothing to do with the dice. I might just use this page to, see if people want to go to a concert with me at last second. Maybe some of you might use this group to ask great people on this page to help you move or lay sod. I know one thing that I'm going to do is donate 4 hours a month to the members of this totally rad group. I usually charge about $25 an hour for my friends to do handyman type stuff. $50 if I do it shirtless, and $1,000 an hour if you're a dude who's hiring and wanting me to do it shirtless. Anyway, one Saturday a month, I'm gonna select a winner, the dice is, and you get a 4-hour chunk to do whatever you want. Landscaping, I build shelves, scrub toilets, whatever the dice determines, whoever the winner is, I'm all yours. I only require, maybe some fresh lemonade and a cool conversation after. I love service. I just think it's so essential to a person's soul and to do it on a consistent basis. I've learned long ago, if you want to get out of your crap, go help others out of theirs. I also challenge others in this group to think of creative ways to love, bless, and serve. And when you can, use the dice just for kicks and giggles. I have no clue, actually, what this group will morph into. Maybe nothing. Maybe it will totes my goats bomb, and only a few people will join. And we'll just send fun memes to each other on this wall. But I'm willing to roll the dice and see where it goes. What if I just went to my church that Sunday, instead of giving God a fun, creative way with these dice to say, hey, Lord, use me as an instrument? You see, sometimes God must get so frustrated with us. He's up there trying to whisper things that we should do, and we don't hear him because we're busy and it's loud, or we ignore him. So I'm making it really easy for my BFF, my best buddy, Holy Ghost, to use me. I chuck a dice across the floor. Now the Holy Ghost just has to nudge a dice to a certain number to get me to do things, instead of trying to whisper into my heart, go to a church that starts at 9 in Pleasant Grove because some girl's brothers who doesn't go is coming and needs to hear what your weird and borderline being inappropriate testimony. See what I'm saying? So once again, I invite you to the Roll the Bones Experience, the RBX Facebook group, and I hope to see you rolling the dice and see what new roads and experiences await you and what new awesome friends you can find. Follow this page, look for events and opportunities, and buckle up, Buttercup. It's gonna be fun. Why are we here? Because we're here. Roll the bones. Roll the bones. All right, Geddy Lee of Rush probably did that a little bit better. But I hope to see you